Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on our channel MSI Analytics. In today's video, I will be discussing some essential steps to keep in mind when optimizing your Power BI model. This is a favorite question among interviewers, so it's crucial to know how to answer it with proper explanations and logic. So let's dive in. Before we start, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with all of our videos. Now let's get started. So the first key step to keep in mind is to keep only those columns that your user requires in the report. Removing unnecessary columns helps reduce the model's complexity and enhances performance. Another key step to remember is that, similar to columns, keep only those rows that you need. Limiting data to relevant time frames or criteria reduces the model size and speeds up processing. So for example, maybe you don't need to import data for last 10 years, but only the data for 5 years is enough for your Power BI model. Now, moving forward to the next step, which is aggregate your data whenever possible. Aggregating data into summarized forms reduces the number of rows, improving performance and reducing storage needs. Moving forward to the next step, which is use proper data types. Ensuring each column has correct data type optimizes storage and processing efficiency in the model. So for example, if you have a column of date type, then don't make it as date time, or a column containing numbers, only then don't make it as text type. I hope this is clear for you. Now we will move forward to another step, which is avoid using calculated columns whenever possible. Calculated columns can bloat the model. It's better to handle calculations at the data source or in Power Query Editor, which will make your work pretty easy and it won't be confusing for you. Moving forward to the next step, which is to disable the auto data time option from options and settings. Turning off this prevents the creation of unnecessary date tables, making your model leaner. This will also remove a bunch of automatically created date tables in the background. Another step is to remove column cardinality. Higher the cardinality of a column, the harder the VertiPaq to optimally compress the data. For example, if we have a column of date time, then split it into two columns, one with date and other with time. So after splitting, cardinality is reduced and so is the size. And you can also handle the data more effectively. After that, another step is to use variables in your measures, calculated columns and tables. Variables enhance the readability of your DAX formulas and improve performance by reusing calculations. Another step is to avoid using bidirectional filtering in your data model except for security purposes. Unnecessary bidirectional filtering can cause circular dependencies and slow down the model. Moving forward to the next step, which is to use report level tooltips instead of standard tooltips. Report level tooltips provide more flexibility and improve the user experience without impacting performance. And now let's move on to our last step of the video, which is to ensure query folding is done for all the transformations in Power Query Editor. Query folding offloads data transformations to the source system, improving efficiency and performance in Power BI. So these are some of the steps that can help you to optimize your Power BI model. And that's it for today's video. I hope these tips help you optimize your Power BI models effectively and prepare for any related interview questions. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit. Also, let me know in the comments if you have any further optimization tips or if you have any further questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.